I think it's clear that the war on drugs has been a complete failure. As a businessman, if you have a business that fails every year for 40 years, you change tact, and the Global Commission is asking nations to change tact. One of the first things the Commission is urging on the United Nations and also urging on individual nations is, treat drugs as a health problem, do not treat it as a criminal problem. In particular, the users who are taking those drugs, do not lock up your children, do not lock up your brothers and sisters. Try to find out why they may have an addiction, why they may have a problem, and help them. Many of them are being absolutely decimated by the war on drugs. Literally thousands of their citizens killed in the pursuit of trying to stop drugs reaching North America. And I think a lot of those South American states are now talking about, we're not going to continue this futile war on drugs any longer. We're going to change our policies, and I think you'll find that over the next 2 years, there will be a major shift there. If you were to regulate drugs and tax drugs, this would be one option that the Global Drug Commission would encourage some states, some countries to experiment with. That would take all that money out of the underworld and put it into government coffers, where it could be spent on health and education and helping people who actually have drink problems or have drug problems.
These organisations have to change with the times, and also the rest of the UN system is finding out that the drugs issue is impacting on their objectives, development objectives, health and human rights. So there is a need for a much more coherent system-wide approach by UN agencies, led by the lead agencies in Vienna, but also involving New York to a much greater degree.
You disappeared. I didn't know.
In 2009, there were 1.6 million drug-related arrests in the U.S. 1.3 million of these were for possession of drugs alone, and over half were related to marijuana.
In 1970, there were about 330,000 prisoners in the U.S. Now there are 2.3 million, and we somehow consider that normal.